Hello, everyone. It's Armand Nazarian here with my friend Trayvon Kentrell Coker. We're coming at you guys after UC Vegas 17, Fight Night Wonder Boy versus Jeff Neal. A little sad because our boy from Texas lost, but, you know, we're going to get into why that happened, what we think that happened, what he could have done better, all that good stuff here in a little bit. Yeah, thank you guys as always for tuning into our content. We're pretty much uploading on a weekly basis from now on. We'll be uploading this episode on Monday, the 21st, and yeah, that'll be our regular thing from now. Is we're gonna have every Monday a new thing. Next week we're actually doing a Q&A. Finally, we've been promising it for a while.
I know, right?
Yeah, but that's coming
like half the year,
literally for a long time, and that's coming because there's nothing to talk about next week. There's not a fight card. This is the last one of 2020, and to be honest, for such a shitty year, it ended okay, and it was a good fight. And please like, comment, subscribe, give us a share, do all that good stuff. It helps us out a lot. And thank y'all. Trayvon, you want to take it from the top?
Oh no, yeah. So kind of both of us did not really catch the prelims, which is fine. Yeah, which I guess nothing really too much happened. So we'll get ourselves formally started on Tabora and Greg Hardy, but I guess I'll just give a quick few comments just on the little things I've seen. I saw a flying triangle. That's cool. Love flying triangles. It's always nice to see. Anthony Pettis beat Morono, which is nice. I like Pettis. I like Morono. Met Morono. He's cool. I'm like never like met him, but like he's nice to talk to. Darren Wynn. Armand said he's like the Artem to DC's Connor, which made me chuckle. He won, so that's nice, I guess. And Eubanks lost, which I didn't see live, but I guess another thing happened. So, do you have anything else to say about that?
No, man, but Deron Wynn, this is my thing with wrestlers. Like you got to be a good wrestler, of course, and he is. You can see, he hits good takedowns and stuff like that. But I think it doesn't help that he's very tiny for that weight division. You know what I'm saying? Like people can probably just like get up really easily. But also,
I believe this fight was at 195 catchweight.
It was, and that's probably because Deron Wynn had some problems cutting weight. To be honest, because I think he's made weight once in the UFC.
He's fought at like heavyweight before.
It is so shocking. He's, Ciro, shout out to Chenkins, World Cup qualifier Fortnite. He's literally that tall. These are small men, and Ciro's like 130. Anyway, but look, you got to have better top control. Literally everyone you've taken down the UFC has gotten up, and that they're not even like great guys either. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a master at getting up or who's good at getting up? Jorge Masvidal. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever, people who are really good at getting up off the ground or getting up underneath you. It's just like I don't even know who this guy is you fought, and you could not keep him down. And you're gonna drive that pace. You better have the cardio, and if you don't, man, So that's my comment. I like wrestlers. I'm always annoyed to see like you got that takedown. Do anything with it. Anyway, that's my comment on that. So you can take it away with start with Chibora and our favorite NFL former.
No. He's your second favorite behind Spike Carlisle. But
oh my god, no.
But onto the fight.
No.
Onto the fight.
You want me to look like a white supremacist for some reason? I shaved my head, and now we're making white supremacist jokes.
Onto the fight, okay? So Tiger
I don't
and
like
Hardy,
Spike Carlisle, okay?
So the fight. Okay, I'll say this to start off with to be nice. For a second there, it looked like Greg Hardy was getting better. I saw him; he was throwing to the body. He could always counter a little bit. That's cool to see and all that. But he was doing little things like playing off his jab and throwing to the body, sitting back and countering. A little bit, little things like that. Something that made me say like, "Hey, man, he could be like a reasonable fighter one day."
Yeah.
But as all heavyweights do for some reason, man. Well, not for some reason, but as all heavyweights do, showed he could not grapple. Showed that he doesn't have the layers to his game to do that for 15 minutes. He started to tire really bad before that. Got taken down, and then pretty much just a normal like. I would say this. He quit, and I'm not even saying it to be like disrespectful. Fighters do this all the time to quit. It happens much more at heavyweight in the bigger divisions than the lighter divisions. But no, when the guys just sit there on the bottom and just kind of curl up and wait for the finish, they quit. And again, fighting is tough, man. Like
there's something to knock on.
I'm not gonna really like roast nobody for that. But that's one of the easy ways people quit. One of the simple ways. People give up chokes all the time. You can kind of tell when they'll give up chokes all the time.
They're done. They've already lost.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean? But no, it's hilarious, man. because on a side note, man, it's always like the heavyweights with the worst heart, with the worst, the worst ability to survive damage and all that. Okay,
They
I
have the
said I
least
won't roast
amount
them.
of heart.
I'll roast this time. I'll roast this time. I'll
Yeah.
roast this time. But no, it's the heavyweights that's always the ones like, oh my goodness, man, like the first sign of adversity, it's you know it's terrible. I can't handle it. But no, like I mean, I kind of like Tabura, man. Like I mean, he's not the best, but I like to see him do well. He's pretty
Okay.
cool. He's just pretty nice, and he wrestles. And like I can always respect a heavyweight that can wrestle, or at least attempts to wrestle. But I want to get onto a really important point that really irks me, and I want to say this and it gets another time. Like athleticism is sport dependent. Like I've been thinking this for the longest. You know what I mean? For the longest for whatever. There's things like general athleticism, like if you're just strong or fast or explosive or flexible or like
Naturally
like a
good
lot of
cardio.
other
Like you can just
like a lot of
run
other
over people.
non-tangible things, like you'll be good in a lot of sports, just off of that. But like I don't think Greg Hardy is the best athlete in the heavyweight division. Like I think when he fought Jorgen de Castro was making him look kind of slow and ineffective at times. Jorgen de Castro looked more explosive than him, looked more springy than him, looked faster than him. I'm not saying Greg Hardy is not a good athlete. He's a very good athlete. Clearly, I mean he's an elite athlete in the NFL.
Not
Very strong.
NFL.
Yeah, very very strong. Clearly, very still pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But like when I see when I see Ngannou, like that's a better heavyweight athlete to me, especially in MMA context. I would even say Kane in MMA context is a much better athlete than Greg Hardy. Things like that. Like athleticism is sport dependent, first of all, and then two, like I think his athleticism is getting overstated, and because he's not the best fighter, and I mean I don't know if there's a reason for him to be in the UFC, especially with all the baggage that he has surrounding him. He needs time to as well. He needs time to develop, but I don't even think he's not even just that good for me to like even want to like watch him fight really like that. Like everybody watches him to me to root for his L's, and like he takes them, so it's kind of like a wasted purpose.
I mean, he's only lost twice in the UFC.
Well, he lost that one time by DQ as well.
Doesn't count. He was honestly that guy was not an easy fight. That guy was actually kind of winning that fight. I remember.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He was winning that fight.
Kind of a convenient little. I can get out of this, and there's I don't know. He's a rule breaker. Can I use my inhaler?
But no, yeah, man. Like, yeah. I mean, there's not much to talk about Greg Hardy on the technical side. Much again, like, I mean, he seems like him being a natural good athlete helps him out a lot. He seems like he'll learn. He picks up stuff. You know what I mean? But like, he's just not the best fighter, man. And like, if he can't just bulldoze you with death and power,
who's he gonna beat? He's not gonna beat Ngannou. He's not gonna beat
Stipe. He's just not gonna get any consistent wins because he was hitting Tabora with some mean ass shots, man. Like he was hitting Tabora pretty hard in the beginning. Yeah. But like, okay, like Tabora survived it and he just gassed.
Yeah.
Yes, gas, and then he was able to.
A guy like I'm a big fan of his, but a guy like Juan Espino, you know what I'm saying? Like someone like that who can actually take him down, or like an Overeem, you know what I'm saying? Or like guys like that would. Like honestly, it kind of seems like the best potential that Hardy has developed into like a Walt Harris. Not skill wise, but I'm talking about like where he sits in the division. Like I don't think he'll lose to the bigger names. You know what I'm saying? Except we don't want to see him win. Like I don't know, he's not gonna win a title. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially with that performance he put on the ground. That was some shit. But that's heavyweight, man. You take who did Alistair just beat? The Brazilian dude with the Curitiban.
Oh, Asaki, I think Augusto.
Yeah, something like that. And Alistair just took him down. He didn't know what to do. That was horrible.
It's like, oh well, damn, that was not part of the plan.
He's like, no, I forgot about this part of MMA. But that's kind of where I stand on that fight, where it seems I don't even have anything to add other than that. Like, yeah, it kind of happened like how it was going to. If anyone of competence took him down, and I'm glad because I don't like that motherfucker. So
yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
it was great to see him all the time. I mean, he has been handed things by the UFC. That one fucking Dagestani or whatever dude they gave him with the big nose, who just literally was sent in there and like it was the fight he fought. It was like his second or third fight in the UFC. He went in there to murder some poor fucking sacrificial lamb.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, I remember now. Yeah,
he went in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, I remember that fight now. Yes,
the very instant he took damage, he was covering up.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was horrible. So I mean, it was good to see him lose. Yeah, GG's. Anyway, I wish I had been in my boy fucking Maurice Green, the crochet boss, but you know what can you do?
Yeah, I know, yeah, man. Maurice Green is cool, man. Like
he's a nice guy, man. Nice guy.
I hear he's super. I mean, in real life, I hear he's super nice too, man.
Yeah.
I want to see, like I said, I want to see Maurice Green succeed. But
me too. I added him on Facebook, and it's not like one of those publicity accounts. Like he'd be posting pictures of his family and his kids. They go on ski trip, and like he's very human too. He's open about his struggles with addiction and alcoholism. And he's just a human. You know, he's a genuine guy. Maurice Green is a great human. We love him out here.
He has heart. We love that.
Heart. We love that. I mean, you can tell he's one of the few heavyweights that when he gets in trouble, like you can see him trying and trying. You know, like when he goes out, it's because he just couldn't fight anymore, not because he's given up. You know what I'm saying? So all the best for him. We want to see him succeed. I don't know how we got from Greg Hardy. I mean, he fought him, but it's nice to go from one shitty heavyweight to a really wholesome one. So yeah, let's switch off now to our next fight of the main card. Oh my gosh, Moraes versus Font. That was a good one, and you can start with that if you want to.
No, yeah, I've been a Rob Font fan for a good little while, man. I've always really liked Rob Font. We didn't do any predictions for this episode. I think I probably would have picked Moraes to win this fight.
Same.
I would have assumed he could have pinned Font at range, kicked at him pretty hard, countered his entries. But that didn't really happen at all because Moraes, I think he's just about done. As a fighter, he's still really explosive and fast, and you can see he has skilled. But man, the glue of Moraes' game, as is with a lot of high level fighters, is like their athletic attributes. Which, not that you want your game to be supplemented by attributes like your athleticism, because use your best points of your game. But like part of like Moraes would be like, okay, I can use my power and speed and to bang you out of the pocket with me if I don't want to have to exchange. Like you can see that starting to break down against Cejudo because you can't get Cejudo out of there. And he's like, well, I kind of don't have nothing else to do but continue to bang with him. And he starts to fall and break. You see like with people like Renan Barão as well. I think like people like TJ might get caught in that type of trap as well. Yeah. But no, like guys don't get caught in like the Marlon Moraes. Like the pieces that bring their skills to the table is their ability to scare you off or handle adversity or handle power or their chin. Maybe not so much from Moraes. His chin was always a little bit shaky. But the ability to be like, man, he's coming back at me with death, and that is not fun. So let me just back myself out of this situation. But like I think Moraes, man, I think he is just about done as a competitive elite fighter. He just can't take punishment.
It's sad. Yeah, exactly. It's like he can't take damage anymore.
Like say one of my friends, Cameron, he's really good fighter when we was talking about.
Shout him out. Give him a whole shout out.
And Cameron Smotherman, man, elite amateur title holder.
Cameron who? It was hard to hear.
It was Smotherman.
Oh, Smotherman. Okay, nice.
Yes, but no, yeah, like I say, so he hasn't been following MMA for even that crazy long. But like he was telling me that Moraes is like the first guy that he's seen like in his prime chin fall. I've seen it a lot, so you know, I've been in this game forever. I've seen it. I've seen it enough. No, but no, it's always really weird and like kind of sad. Like
oh my God.
Like Font is a hit. He's actually a hitter for bantamweight. Yeah. But like he was out here just like hurting Moraes. Yeah, with everything he threw, jab, knocked him halfway across the cage. Yeah. Uppercut. The uppercut he landed was nice, but it just damn near killed him on the spot. Yeah, that's the type of stuff you should be able to eat. Doesn't help that Moraes, you know what I mean, himself doesn't have the cardio to handle pressure. Even still, it's like a 3-minute, 4-minute fight. It doesn't help that he, you know, in exchanges, he banks on his power and his very good ability to counter, but you know, maybe not the most deepest ability to counter. And again, I think mainly the fight was just Moraes looking shot. Yeah, they're looking completely shot.
To be honest, I like that you mentioned to him, if I may start. I like that you mentioned you can still see that he has the physical attributes like his speed, his athleticism. I mean, he's clearly a unit. Look at his body. You know what I'm saying? And also his skill. You know, he's not unskilled anymore. But what it looked like is in the most meaningful sense of saying so, a early intimation of him becoming a shell of himself, right? Because those things are there, but like that it factor, that intangible thing that makes you a fighter, which, as you mentioned, it's the ability to take damage, which isn't physically or observably measurable. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't look at it and tell you, yeah, I can tell you. Like nothing about Dan Henderson necessarily screams I can eat a head kick. You know what I'm saying? It's like a car mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you know, that in him seemed to have faded. I mean, he's always had a problem where he doesn't sustain a very high, to my memory, because he had a lot of his fights take place in WSOF at the time.
Mm-hmm. Most of those fights, he just kind of not blitz guy. He either just killed guys, or he could just control the fight so easily because he's so much skilled.
Right, that he could just win fights. Yeah. Set at his own pace, that he could manage. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it look, props of course to Cejudo for making the adjustment where he just starts spamming, lead rights. But Moraes has always had a problem with keeping the pace of the fight in high. You know what I'm saying? Like even in that fight, he got tired. You can see him getting tired, and it looked like that came earlier than I remember it coming. It wasn't and he was winning those exchanges. I mean, Font was getting up, but he was getting the takedowns he wanted. He was getting him to the fence. I mean, he was advancing position before Font would get away. You know what I'm saying? It looked like at that point he shouldn't have been tired, and he was coming in with his hands down. His counters, I thought you could see him taking big deep breaths. His counters were getting slow.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looked like he was throwing. He threw like a really hard body or left high kick. I don't remember, but I don't remember particularly when. But it was like it looked like very labored and out of position. Like he could have thrown it in a. I don't know. Something about it was like, oh God, he's tired. You know what I'm saying? You could hear the that came from it. You know what I mean? Like when you're tired and you kick hard still. And like you said, the jabs of Font are pretty. But they hurt him too bad. I mean, every time he got hit, I was like, oh no, ooh. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I wanted Moraes to win because I mean, I like him and he's suffered a couple, tough losses. But good for Font. I like Font, man. Font's hands are beautiful to watch, and he did a good job getting out of. He did a good job, on the bottom. I mean, he was clearly not.
He did a really good. Yes, he did a really good job on the bottom.
Yeah, and so my thoughts on that was like, he's not yet a shell of himself, but it's like step one down that staircase, where it's like I can still see who you were as a fighter, but that it factor has now left. You're getting tired quicker. You're taking like you're a granite chin. It's like watching Chuck Liddell, who used to be able to eat punches, just get knocked out the first time. You know what I'm saying?
No, like yeah, exactly, man. Like one of the people that I remember there was a point when I was watching like a few guys, but like to me it's Diego Sanchez. Like I remember he always had the most insane heart and the most insane chin. I remember watching him fight, thinking like, I don't think he can be like finished. I knew he could be, and after a certain point, I was like, I'm expecting him to get a finish soon. But, during the time, I'm like, yeah, man, like this fight, he gonna take the shots. He's gonna survive. He can just do that. But now I watch his, yeah. But now, yes, exactly. But now I watch the fights. And I'm like, I'm expecting him to get knocked the hell out. He does. I'm expecting him to start to wilt under pressure. He does. I'm expecting him to look just feeble and weak.
You watch him
yeah, exactly. Dan Henderson, like you talked about. I remember watching him fight, and it was like he can just eat anything. And then now, well, he's not fighting no more. But at the end of his career, I'm like expecting him to get hurt. He got hurt a lot more. I'm expecting to see that. And like I said, it happens to everybody. It's really sad, man. It makes you feel. It just feels bad. Like seeing Chuck Liddell get knocked out by Tito, it's like
that was a shame.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, like
we're talking about the cokehead fighting championships. What's his name? I'm being facetious. I'm disrespecting too. Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh, okay.
I honestly, I mean, as a boxer, I liked him, but and also especially like his struggles with addiction and everything. But then he actually hosted a promotion wherein a 58 or 48-year-old Chuck Liddell fought a 42-year-old whatever Tito Ortiz. That was sick and disgusting, and yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Watching that happen was sad. I don't know. It seems like we talk about aging fighters a lot on this podcast, and we do, but like, I would just want to
because.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of it is because UFC doesn't put the Rob Fonts to beat the Moraeses yet. It's too little for like it's like they have like the top guys who are old fight each other for so long.
Yeah.
And they'll just stick around when like there needs to be like some cycling through the divisions.
Yeah.
It's good that Rob Font fights the Moraes now. It's good that Marlon Vera fought Jose Aldo now. You know what I mean? Like they need to like divisions to like cycle through. Like welterweight would be like. Who yet young has fought Tyron Woodley yet? Like, I'm gonna quickly try to look up Tyron Woodley's rankings because I wouldn't be surprised if he's still ranked like in the top 5, which he shouldn't be at all.
No, he's like a lot of guys would beat him. UFC welterweight rankings.
Like a lot of times they'll have guys in the top of divisions, man, and they just haven't been beaten yet by like the good guys yet.
He's number 6.
Yeah, he's number 6, man. Like, and Damian Maia is number 7. Like,
oh God, but like everyone underneath Damian Maia would kill him almost.
Like cycle through with they need the division to cycle through with the competitors and all that. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. Like, okay, of these people here who, I would honestly give Michael Chiesa an edge against Tyron Woodley at this point, because if he gets him, I think if he ties up with him, he would. But like Vincente Luque beats Tyron Woodley, Jeff Neal beats Tyron Woodley, Robbie, I don't know, Hamza Chimaev probably beats. Honestly, to be honest, probably beats Tyron Woodley. Yeah, I mean, not even it's just like other fighters as well. Yeah.
And then I'm looking at lightweight too, which is obviously like lightweight's a beautiful, awesome division, but like there's just no turnover in lightweight. Like McGregor he's ranked 5. He hasn't fought like a competitive guy.
And hasn't fought in lightweight since 6 October 2018.
Yeah, since he fought Khabib, who's retired.
Over 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Ali Aquinta still ranked number 10,
which is just shocking.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Kevin Lee is still in the rankings. I mean,
the rankings. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just like a lot of times UFC will just keep the top guys fighting each other again on rotation. So they can't let Drew Dober's ranked number 15, right? They in the lightweight division, they don't let him fight somebody like Ali Aquinta, who I think he would beat, and then now he can cycle into the rankings. They'll have Ali Aquinta fight Cowboy, then they'll have him fight McGregor, and then they'll have him fight Dan Hooker, then they'll have him fight. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? And then like he'll lose probably to all 3 of them. Well, he will lose all 3 of them, and then he'll still be in the top 10 because those guys are 8th, 5th, and 3rd. I mean, you know what I mean?
100%. I've always noticed that. I would say like they need to get Gregor Gillespie fighting someone ranked above them. They do need to wash these divisions clean. It's got to be like a spin cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Exactly. You know what I mean?
It's this weird stratification thing where like the top guys are always being with each other, the bottom guys are always.
Exactly.
It needs to be flow. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and that's why a lot of the old guys they're not, and that's why some of them just look bad weirdly all of a sudden because they're not fighting the young guys no more. There's no cycling through the division.
And you throw them with the young guy, and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, you know what I mean? Like you get surprised. Yeah, I mean, like how many times did Uriah Faber fight for a title? You know what I'm saying? He was like one of the. At one point, he was just like a middle of the pack fighter in the division. I feel like now we can definitely move on up the card here to Michel Pereira versus Chaos. I guess his name was actually Callan Williams. Honestly, that fight was just okay. I don't know. I didn't really watch it very closely.
Yeah, it was nothing really to speak about it. Pretty much. I guess I'll just speak on some random things about each guy. Like Chaos Williams, I would like for him to have better kick defense because he looked really, really uncomfortable looking at kicks coming at him. Pereira, he's weird, but like he like even to me at his best, he's not the best. Like he's not that good. Yeah, the fight was just kind of there. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have much to say. I don't have much to say about it. They're both just really good athletes for welterweight, and they both hit hard and big. But they were both a little green on the skill side. Yeah, so that's all. Yes.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say. I didn't care about this fight.
Yeah, it was kind of high up there in my opinion for what it should have. I think they were assuming that it was gonna be like a really reckless and violent fight, and like there was a potential for that to happen, but they just are not they don't have the skill sets to kind of like bring it out of each other, or to do that. So yeah, the fight was just kind of there, unfortunately.
Sad.
Yeah.
Well, now we get to the best 2 fights.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And we've got one of your favorites, Jose Aldo.
Exactly.
Versus Marlon Vera. That was a good fight. It was a good fight. You were worried about this fight, weren't you? Didn't you mention a while ago you didn't want them to give him to Vera?
Yeah, man. It's getting to the point now where I don't want to see Aldo fighting because I think he's getting to the crossover point. But Aldo is just so damn skilled. He can just make things. He's just so cold, man. Like so he's just so cold. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's just so good. So you know what I mean? Man, yeah. If I had to give predictions, I would have said, okay, I'm gonna pick Vera just because I'm not expecting Aldo to do good. But I think Aldo's gonna if he wins, I'm not gonna be surprised because Aldo can just kind of shut Vera down at everywhere, pretty much, skill-wise, and not let Vera get anything going. So I'm gonna use this long time to speak high on Aldo because I just love to do that. But no, okay, first I'll get to Vera. So I remember watching the fight and I was thinking man, I saw Marlon Vera's ranking. He was 15, and I immediately thought that's so stupid. Why is he ranked 15? But then I actually thought about it. I was like, wait, no, bantamweight is just insane. I think he's actually appropriately ranked at 15.
Yeah.
Which says a lot about the division, which is ridiculous, man.
Ridiculous,
like,
indeed.
The division is super good, super awesome. Because Font is ranked at 11, I believe. He's not even top 10, and like I don't think he should be top 10, which says a lot. You know, well, okay, he's probably top 10. He probably be top 10.
At this
But
point,
like yeah, but like Font is like super good, and like him being outside the top 10 wasn't even. It didn't even really irritate. I was like, okay, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like bantamweight again. I've said this. Like bantamweight is the best division in MMA right now, man. Like such good fighters, such good fighters. But no, yeah. So during the fight, man, I was having a blast watching for the first round, obviously, because all the other was looking great. Countering the hell out of Marlon Vera's kicks, playing with his jab, getting him to shell up, hit him to the body,
beautiful work.
working his
Oh my god!
It was just a great Jose. It was just a great, beautiful Jose Aldo performance.
Yeah, just right.
I will say, I think he won this. I think Aldo won the second round as well. I feel like the commentary was just really,
very
really
biased and stupid.
Yeah. Onto that point, but Marlon Vera started. I did see like Aldo started to slow down. I was like, oh damn, man, it's happening again. I've seen this enough times. I was like, oh no, the PTSD for me is kicking in. But then we got to see one of my favorite iterations of Aldo that we rarely get to see, and that's ADCC Aldo. I freaking love ADCC Aldo, man. You see him like once every like 5 years, man, and I just love it. You'll see him like pass kick.
He's so good.
You'll see him like cut through Kenny Florian's guard, and you're like, oh wait,
yeah,
I forgot he could do that. You know what I mean? You'll see him take Ricardo Lamas's back and be like, oh yeah. I forgot about that. He could, you know what I mean?
On the ground.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh yeah, man, I forgot Jose Aldo can just like pass people's guard like with no hesitation at all, or like get to their back with no hesitation at all. Like, so when he took Marlon Vera down, like off the rip, I was like, oh yes, man. I was just so happy, man. It's such a great veteran performance. He never like he does that in the fights where like that are rough. Yeah. Like he'll take Mark Hominick down because like, man, Mark Hominick's tough as hell, man. I'm hitting him to death. He's not going away. Let me just get him down. Boom.
But smart.
Like, man, Korean's not. Yes, He's like, man, Korean zombie a little wild, man. Let me just slow this pace down and take him down. Boom. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, Marlon Vera's trying to stop the third round really hot. He took him down, man. Got his back, held the back for the whole time. His back control was excellent, elite, awesome.
Absolutely.
Did a great job. One thing specifically I really liked because they were talking about Marlon Vera trying to get hit the body triangle. So where your legs are connected, you try to get that to the mat, makes it easier to escape. I really like how Aldo, one time he spun him back around, like grabbed his arm and rotated him back to the side. Yeah. Yes, I love that. And then also one time he tried to belly him down, which is another great thing to do as well, which is very, very dangerous to be in if you get stuck there. He tried to continue the roll and belly him down, but Marlon Vera was able to sit up and stand. But like Marlon Vera couldn't escape his back because Jose Aldo is just just cold. He's just good everywhere. You know what I mean? Like one of the guys, like speaking of Marlon Moraes and the glue of his game being his athleticism. The glue of Aldo's game isn't his athleticism. Jose Aldo is ridiculously athletic, and the fact that he's dropped with that a little bit doesn't make things good for him. His cardio now is really weak. He can't take the damage he can't take anymore. He's still got some good power to him, you know what I mean? But he's not just a ferocious hitter like he used to be. But the fact that he's just so insanely skilled, his game, his foundation, he can still compete against. Again, Marlon Vera is a damn good fighter. He can compete against damn good fighters. Late into his career, beat them, outsmart them in situations where Marlon Moraes doesn't have just simply the skills to do it. You know what I mean? Marlon Moraes being extremely good just isn't at the level of Jose Aldo is. You know what I mean? So you can see that. I love to see that, man. I love to see old guys fight. Aldo, please retire, man. This is a very good win. To me, I rate this one really highly. Like it's very a good win. But man, I didn't want to see him fight anybody. We were talking in the group chat with one of our friends, John, about him fighting TJ. And at first I was like, yeah, man. Let's make that happen. But then I thought about it. I was like, that might be the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Because if TJ's still alive and kicking, he might just bore out Aldo. And man, I don't want to see that. I've seen that enough as is. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've seen that enough as is.
I feel you. Yeah.
I don't want to see TJ fight Aldo. I want to see Aldo fight Cruz though. That's a fight I want to see.
I don't, because I like Dominic Cruz. I don't want to see his legs get punted halfway across the octagon.
I don't care. That's fine with me. I don't care. I think they're both at the same kind of point in their career. I think
Aldo was always going to be exactly.
Yes, exactly. That's why. Or Aldo versus Frankie, because
again, why? That's 4 times beat him.
Yes, no, yeah, I know, yes, but because either or, because I like again, Frankie has a soft spot in my heart. So if Frankie wins it, I'll be okay with it. And then if Aldo beats him, it just I don't know. It'll make me laugh. It'll make me laugh just the third time.
Oh, fourth time. Did they fight?
I think third time.
Are you sure?
Just 2 times. Yes, just 2 times.
Frankie Edgar versus Jose
But no, yes,
I
man. I
guess you're
want to
right.
see.
I guess you're right. It
Yeah,
is twice.
just 2 times.
Could have sworn.
But no,
Who
man.
fought
Like
3 times?
Frankie fought like a lot of people. He fought Grant Maynard 3 times. He had a lot of rematches.
Didn't he also fight BJ Penn 3 times?
He
Like
did,
the
yeah,
first time, it was
yeah,
like he
yeah.
lost, but they gave him the decision, and then the second
Yeah.
time he won, and then they went to like a rubber match because technically, that's
Yeah.
right. That's just I'm just confusing it with another guy he beat. Yeah.
Another.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. But no, yes, man. Like, I'm just happy to see Aldo win. It's always a great day when Aldo wins. To me, when Aldo wins, it's a great day. When Damian Maia wins, it's a great day. When GSP wins, it's a great day. I mean, like GSP not fighting anymore.
Won.
You know, there's certain
He
guys.
won.
There are certain guys, man. When they win, I'm just like, yes.
Max Holloway.
You know what I mean? Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. I forgot about him. The main guy, Max Holloway. When he wins, I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he's so good, man.
I know exactly, man.
Mhm.
So Aldo just one of those guys, man. I just love to see. You know, everybody around me knows I freaking love Aldo.
Mhm.
Martin Vera, he's a great fighter. I want to see him fight some good guys. He's very skilled himself. He's gonna be a good like top 10 guy, tough guy to fight for everybody in the division, like literally everybody.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's pretty much that, man. I got nothing to say. You got some? I'm sorry. Did you have anything to say about the fight?
Man, you covered everything, dude.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah, I
know
just
what
speak a
else
lot,
there is
that's
to
my
say. No, you're good, perfect. I mean, the only thing was the one thing I like Michael Bisping said, Wonderbear was getting frustrated with getting his back taken. I mean, Aldo was, it was a strategy. He did it on purpose because the fight was getting a little rough for him on the feet. He's like, what am I going to do now? I think he hit Aldo after the bell or something like that. Right? Like, Vera was upset. And, man, you got to get out of that, man. He put you there. He did that. You didn't start on your back. You know what I'm saying? He took your back. If you don't want to be... That's my thing with fighters, like, when they complain about shit, like, people who stall. I don't like fighters who stall, but, like, you accept a fight knowing that the only person who can most directly influence the dynamic of the fight other than your opponent is you. So if you don't like being stuck somewhere, like, you have to, like, just don't get stuck. It's your responsibility. And if you can't, then you lose. You take your L. You know what I'm saying? That's the nature of a fight. So people who complain... Like, I guess because I've been watching with a buddy of mine, like, rewatching all the Ultimate Fighters, and I'm literally just on season 1 right now, and, like, I was watching Josh Koscheck versus Chris Lieben, and, like, this is early MMA, but he took him down just, like, late on him. And it's like, yeah, it sucks when people do that, but, like, the fact of, like, when you watch, like, I always bring this up, Cejudo versus Baby Pettis, like, that fight was so excruciatingly boring, Trayvon. No, because he didn't advance.
I watched it.
He just sat on it the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's literally not Cejudo's job not to do that. It's Pettis' job to get the fuck out. Just like it is, again, when Masvidal fights Usman. Did I fucking like that performance? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Was it boring? Of course it wasn't. Was it exciting? No. It's not Usman's fault that fight happened like that. Masvidal knows that's how he fights, and he's got to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Aldo's an incredibly well-rounded, just skilled everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You've seen him lose before, so you know the things that'll tire him out, that'll get him working. You know what I'm saying? You know he's capable of doing that to you, right? So you have nothing to complain about. It's not like he kicked you in the nuts 3 times, you know?
No, yes, man. Like, again, like, people just kind of not well. Some people, they'll treat like positions as like, if they're not doing anything, they have to like reset. Like, no, man, like, there's avenues for you to get out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's no inescapable position except like
sunk
in rear naked choke.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But then, like, at least you're losing. Like, at least you're clearly losing. You don't have nothing to say. Yeah, you can't really say nothing about that.
Yeah. Unless you're Conor McGregor and you say my foot was a balloon. Audio.
But no, yes, man. Like that doesn't annoy me too. I don't like to see fighters complain about positions because, like, you have avenues to get out. You have avenues to create space. You have avenues to move.
Rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You have to get yourself out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, make Ronda versus Sean O'Malley 2, just cause let's make it happen again.
Why not?
For Aldo, I want him to retire.
All right,
that's pretty much that.
On to the main event, the nicest motherfucker in the UFC versus.
You give your thoughts on this one because I spoke like 300 minutes on the Aldo.
No problem. So this was a classic Stephen Wonderboy Thompson performance. You know what I'm saying? You see, obviously very good movement. He does honestly a pretty decent job with his ring generalship, even though sometimes he will get caught against the fence and turn around and look at it. But like his side to side movement is good. He does get cornered again. Okay. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's game is always going to be built around moving, creating angles, switching stances, creating entries where he comes in and like blitzes in with the jab, like it's like a leaping 1-2 and then coming out the other angle, and then he'll fade away with like this lead round kick over the shoulder. He has that side kick to keep you from coming in. We all know Stephen Wonderboy's game. It's really good, right? the places he tends to get hurt is up against the fence, right? Where he gets his back put against the fence, and his stance has to square because he's in a really bladed stance, and there's not enough room between him and the opponent. And then he starts, moving laterally, like side to side, almost taking L steps, and that's fine. And that's where he was doing good things. It was actually weird to see him throwing 1-2s from a pretty square stance. Like, ha! It was a little strange to see it, but it worked. This is where he has gotten hurt in the past. Darren Till knocked him down as he was retreating that way. Both times Tyron Woodley knocked him down as retreating that way. Here's where Jeff Neal's corner failed him. You can see early on. Just let me point this out. There are no good cage cutters in the UFC that I can think of. Like people who are masters at cornering you. There aren't any. But Jeff Neal was trying not to move in straight lines, it seemed like at first. But as the fight wore on, there was way too much. Like you can see Jeff Neal sitting down on the 1 and then throwing the 2 at this angle because Wonderboy was going. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to force someone to rotate toward a certain side, you need strikes with which to cut them off. Like I think like a right hook to the body or a right kick to the body or leg would have served Jeff Neal so well as Wonderboy is taking these like side steps out. You need to kick his trailing leg. You're going to send that thing flying. You know what I'm saying? It's important to slow down the movement of someone who wants to move laterally. Like Henry Cejudo against Dominic Cruz. He just stayed so diligent on kicking that leg, that trailing leg as Dominic Cruz circled. You can do the same thing with body kicks. You can do that with like a stepping right hand. Like when Edson Barboza was circling away. Anderson Silva did this to Forrest Griffin. As Edson Barboza is circling away from Justin Gaethje, he's an orthodox. He shifts into southpaw with the right hook. And if the guy's circling this way, you shift like this and you catch him in the stance switch, right? You catch him as he's moving. That would have absolutely served him so much better. Like that's like one of the things to do against a very evasion heavy fighter. And as Trayvon mentioned to me, I didn't even think of this, having a probing lead hand, right? Especially in those spots where Wonderboy's having a, against the fence here, having a probing lead hand, in my opinion, would have helped him so much in those exchanges. And just being like not kicking enough with Thompson. You need to kick his legs. You need to kick him, especially as he's moving, because that would have paid dividends later on in round 3, round 2. You're going to slow down his movement. You know what I'm saying? It's going to help you so much if you punish him every time he has a trailing leg. There's always going to be a trailing leg when someone's moving from side to side. You have to kick it. You have to cut them off with your strikes. If you're not going to, that's just a part of ring cutting. Even if your presence is physically mirroring theirs, and you corner them, eventually they're going to go a certain way. And so part of that, a part of creating a sense of pressure to corner them is to use round strikes, like round kicks and hooks to keep them double second guessing themselves as they move in those directions. So I thought, you could see how in a way Jeff Neal looked really limited. You know what I'm saying? Like he threw a couple left high kicks, but it was all straight punches and didn't really have the game plan. Do I think he has the skill? Like if someone told him to do those things and he practiced it, of course. You know what I'm saying? Just at least to kick the trailing leg. But he had a bad game plan, and he didn't look like he knew how to beat Stephen Thompson, to be honest with you. I mean, he pretty much got outclassed. So, yeah.
No, like I said, Armand did an excellent job actually detailing that. Very good. But I'll piggyback off of what you said. So, again, the fight was really good. Very entertaining. But it was kind of, I said this, I'll say a few things I've told some of my friends and all that. I said this fight was high level Aldana versus Home. And I think that's pretty accurate. But no. So
someone said that on Facebook, actually.
Somebody did?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm not on there, so I didn't copy that. If I'm stealing something from somebody, I'll credit them.
Maybe
but no, yes.
Wait, did someone say that to you on Twitter?
No. I just made that up myself.
Oh, no. Someone had said something like that. Yeah, continue.
No. But no, yeah. So like, I'm gonna use a big portion of this to kind of piggyback off what Armand said and just detail on the how to beat Stephen Thompson. So one of the things I assume when people always say, like the fighters always say, yeah, man, I've handled the karate guys in the camp. I'm ready for Stephen Thompson. I haven't figured out. To me, I always just assume that they're just bringing like a karate guy who doesn't know how to fight, and they'll just break him through pace and pressuring him, and they just can't handle. You know what I mean? Like they can't handle the karate guy can't handle the MMA fighter, and they'll break through the pace of the pressure, and now they think, oh yeah, I'm ready for Stephen Thompson now. Like they don't know how to actually move and fight these guys who are like such active and good movers, to be honest with you. Like what Armand said, like kicking at Stephen Thompson, kicking his legs especially, but even just kicking with him at range is so vital, because after a bit with Vicente Luque too, especially with Jeff Neal, like Stephen Thompson had complete and utter control of like the deep long ranges, nothing to contest him. Everything was on his own terms, and he can enter and exit the pocket on his own with no hesitation.
Yeah.
Yes. When you have guys that can kick with you at range, it makes things difficult. Also, as the kicker, not only are you damaging them and contesting them at range and able to see their stuff, you can now enter the pocket easier. You can strike with them at range easier. You can do everything easier. For example, if you do like a body kick, bam, just stop his movement like Armand says. Throw his leg kick, boom, stop his movement like Armand says. Making it harder. Stephen Thompson's good. He's going to try to counter those. You can use those kicks to set up feints to enter into the pocket on your own things. You can counter his counters. You can do things like that. And put Stephen Thompson in positions to where he's in a very, very weird and bad spot. Like spots to where he's not the best at. Spots to where he's square in the stance like Oran says. Spots to where he's against the cage like Oran says. Spots to where he has to trade with you, which he's not which he doesn't really want to do. Things like throwaway punches. Like throw away a shot, get him to move, and then run him into something. Like when Armand was talking about the Anderson Silva combo to cut off Forrest Griffin, Anderson Silva looks like he's committing really hard to a shot, shifts, and is able to catch Griffin. Because Griffin has to move in retaliation to Anderson Silva's assumed strike. That shift is really hard. He doesn't know what he's gonna throw. Stephen Thompson is the same thing. Stephen Thompson's gonna move. He's not. If he fakes something, he's gonna try to get out of there. Use that. Throw away a shot. Boom. Catch him on the entry.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this on the way before the podcast. A good example of that. Well, we may even talk about him a little bit at the end of the day. But Canelo though, when Canelo fought Amir Khan, Canelo was fighting a really active mover in a boxing. Really active mover, really fast guy, really hard to track down. Maybe not the best defensively. Actually, it's kind of a good comparison, kind of Stephen Thompson. It's funny, but no, when he's fighting Amir Khan, the knockout shot, right? He set up. First of all, he was setting up looping shots, like Armand said, looping shots to the body, hard shots to the body to kind of corral him in condition Amir Khan, throwing hard right hands. Canelo feinted like a jab to the body, like a dip. Got Amir Khan to circle into a big right hand, knocked him out cold. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like I've said this before a while ago, but like not saying Stephen Thompson himself is an elite striker. He very much is very good. But there is a reason why you don't see guys like Stephen Thompson much at a high level in kickboxing or boxing. You'll see them because Stephen Thompson's good. You'll see those guys that can know how to navigate. But those guys who are such active movers, they run themselves into big shots against elite guys. They run themselves into bad spots against elite guys. They get pinned against the ropes ropes really mainly. In
Draymond Daniels in kickboxing had this problem.
Yeah, Raymond Daniels, exactly what I mean. They get leg kicked like Armand says against elite guys in kickboxing. Raymond Daniels, they'll get trapped against the ropes or get corralled into big shots like in boxing. You don't see those crazy mover guys like that who are such reliant on movement as their only form of defense, because you can get placed in positions to where your movement hinders you, or you get placed in a position where you have to move more than you want to and things like that. And like Armand says, Jeff Neal didn't look prepared for Stephen Thompson. A lot of MMA guys are not prepared for Stephen Thompson. They don't know how to strike with those guys clean, and it's very difficult when you're not used to it. Those karate guys are very difficult to strike with. I'm actually kind of lucky. I've struck with a lot of karate guys before. I'm kind of just used to moving with them. It's nothing really.
That's why you dink me up all the time.
But no. Like you have to like. It's not like their movement is hard to do with that range for a lot of MMA guys because they're just better than them. They're just better. They know how to, like Stephen Thompson. His footwork is really good. He knows his exits, his entries, very good. His ring generalship, like I say, is really good for what it is. Like he ends up against the cage a lot, which doesn't help him. But like a lot of Stephen Thompson's game is extremely good. But like people just don't know how to approach him at all, and that's when they get ran. Like people that get ran to big shots again and again and again and again and again. Either that, or they have a terrible, boring fight with him because they don't know how to approach him, and they'll just kind of sit, and then he'll be like, "You gonna do something?" And they'll be like, "You gonna do something?" And they just kind of sit for sit for 25 minutes. You know what I mean? But no, like guys don't know how to approach Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson will be an elite fighter regardless. But if guys knew how to approach him, things would be a lot better for them, and they would be able to put him away, put shots on him, damage him a lot more. Because again, they just kind of stand there at range, get dinged up, try to enter behind a double forearm guard, and they'll let him run circles around him.
Because you're just walking him. You can't just walk him down. He's not going to be there for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
I mean, you literally make the fight better for him when you do that. That's not what he wants you to do.
Exactly. Yes, it makes things so much easier for him. Exactly. You know what I mean? People don't kick with him, so he can just kick at range with you for free. You don't corral him, like Armand said a lot again. So you just can circle for free. You don't throw away strikes, feint a strike, throw away to get him to run into something. He just can run away. He can just do a lot of his game for free. Like again, Armand brought up a good point about the Cejudo fight against Cruz. Like Cruz again, Awesome fighter, high level, one of the greatest fighters of all time, one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen. But Cejudo just did simple stuff. Kicked his leg, got him moving to strikes, stood there in the pocket when they exchanged, countered him, made life really, really difficult for Cruz. You know what I mean? Obviously his wrestling ability helped out. You know what I mean? Because if Cruz can't wrestle you, it makes things really difficult again. But like, again, these hardcore active movers in MMA, they're like Stephen Thompson himself is kind of like a diamond in the rough. He's one of a kind. But like these guys will have a lot of success until guys start to be able to realize how to deal with these situations. You know what I mean? Like Jeff Neal, after a certain point, just kind of banked on his toughness and chin and his power, and it let him get shots up on Wonder Boy, but nothing consistent, nothing that was actually going to finish the fight, nothing that was going to let him win, nothing that was going to give him a victory, nothing that was going to mitigate his damage as well, because he took a lot of damage as well.
I agree with you 100%. And the thing about that Cejudo performance against Cruz was. Like a lot of the MMA, a lot of people, especially in Cruz's era, headhunted, and Cruz's hands are always down. You know what I'm saying? So you're making your head such an attractive target. And you kind of like Cejudo was, if he's anything, he's very disciplined. You know what I mean? And in that fight, he was ridiculously disciplined with his game plan. Like he didn't let any. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nope, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw every time you circle up, bam! I'm punting your leg like it's a fucking football. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and like when you fight Thompson, that's kind of how you have to be. Like you were saying earlier, they get the double forearm and then they just go for it. That cannot be a part of your plan unless he's limping, which actually, ironically he was, but coincident. But even so, his movement, he was still able to move. Like if you're gonna be Stephen Thompson, you need the right ingredients, which we already went over the specific nature of, and you need to remain very disciplined on them as the fight wears on, because especially like early on, like. He might get that stuff off on you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he might
yes, because he's very fast, he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? All that stuff is hard to track down. Also, his game naturally will slow him down. He's just moving so heavily, moving so much. Has to fight.
He did slow down, even though his cardio is very good. You know what I mean?
His cardio is very good because he's fighting at a crazy pace. Not even if he's not throwing a lot, but he's just moving just so much. He's fighting at a crazy pace.
He's never still.
Yes, exactly. So you might have a little rough first round, maybe first 2 rounds. You maybe get a few leg kicks off, get touched a little bit. You know what I mean? But then you'll be able to build onto your game and then tack on bigger and bigger, better shots. Again, tying into the Canelo fight against Amir Khan. Canelo, he didn't have the best first few rounds against Amir Khan. Nerves fast, in and out heavy, moving a lot, making things difficult for Canelo. Canelo kept on the pace. Very, very disciplined fighter Canelo is. Kept on the pace, kept on working, able to knock him the hell out. You know what I mean? I also wanted to say this. I forgot who said this. One of my friends on Twitter said that. I completely forgot who it was. But it made me chuckle because it was like they said Shogun like 10 years ago. He had the anti-karate blueprint already printed out, and nobody else is really following it really. It makes me laugh because like Shogun himself punting the hell out of legs, kicking people, catching them with shots on the circle against Machida. You know what I mean? Like especially in the first fight. In the first fight, making it extremely hard for Machida. And it's like, as much as I love Shogun, like, come on, man, you guys can do this. You know what I mean? Like, this is not just like a secret, magical game plan that you have to have.
Absolutely.
Like, again, man, I don't want to be mean to Stephen Thompson because he's really freaking nice. He's awesome, an awesome fighter, things like that. But man, like, Stephen Thompson is looked at as like a mythical figure, like as a striker. Like, nobody's a mythical figure in anything, grappling, striking, anything. Stephen Thompson himself is extremely good. Again, I cannot express, very good fighter, man. I like to watch him fight when he's like doing stuff. Very good, very good fighter. But man, like the people act like they can't corral him. People act like they can't out angle him. People act like they can't counter him on his entries. People act like they can't.
He's a human being.
Yeah, they can't move with him. You know what I mean?
He's not Superman. Yeah.
To me, when people discuss fighting Stephen Thompson, the idea is to be tough, outlast him, and use my power in my chin to break him through pace. Stephen Thompson's tough, man. Like he's gonna be in there. He's gonna fight you for the full 25 minutes, man. Like he's hard to put away.
Did you see his knee? He kept fighting. Like Tyron nearly killed him. He was still fighting. You know what I mean? Yes, exactly, man. Yeah, like Stephen Thompson's tough as hell, man. He's not like these karate guys. Again, I assume, this is me assuming, so I can't speak. But when these guys bring in, like, they say, I'm ready for Stephen Thompson. I think I got the blueprint for him. They just walk down karate guys and beat him up.
they don't know how to fight.
Well,
You know what I
Jeff
mean?
Neal didn't actually bring anyone in according to his camp. He just fought guys like Uriah Hall and those types of figures who are already in the gym and fight from a side-on stance, which is not the same thing. Come
Yeah, not the same thing, man. Like Uriah Hall doesn't have the footwork of Stephen Thompson. He doesn't have the entry. He's not as good as Stephen Thompson.
He's literally
just not.
He's actually just not even very similar to Stephen Thompson at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, you can even bring a guy in who's way worse than Uriah Hall, but if they're similar to Stephen Thompson, just the looks and the angles will be able to help them get the feel for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
that's responses into reactions, right? Like your reflexes.
And I would even say again, I guess we'll segue because like a lot of times with your training partners, they don't need to be like freaking better than you or better than your opponents, or even like I would even say like good or world class. They just have to give you the basic ingredients of like who you're fighting, like like the vaccine, like a vaccine of who you're fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't need like if you're fighting Stephen Thompson, you don't need to bring in Raymond Daniels. You know what I mean? You can bring in like a reasonable karate guy. It might be hard to find, but a reasonable karate guy, maybe training at your gym.
A decent karate guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like MVP.
Yes, who can actually like fight? Yeah, who can actually like fight, not just like a guy that you can walk through. Have them move with you, get the feel for the angles and all that. Yeah, but no, yeah, you know what I mean? Like somebody that you can move with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like most guys, obviously at an elite level, you're training with people that are worse than you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be fighting the best. I mean, not fighting. You don't need the best of the best to teach you the skills you need to beat Stephen Thompson. You know what I mean? You just need to understand
who in Adesanya's camp is as good as him.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like who does Max Holloway train with? How did Max Holloway get that good? You know what I mean? Like
the guy he trained at Yancy Medeiros is kind of trash. You know what I'm saying?
Like you know what I mean? Like a lot of boxers, man, the people they spar with are just kind of obviously worse than them. But like they
beat the shit out of those fucking people a lot. It's kind of weird to see. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They bring in dead men just to beat the shit out of them.
They're still disgustingly world-class fighters. You know what I mean? Like that know how to deal with a lot of problems. Like
absolutely.
As much as I want to praise Stephen Thompson and he deserves praise, a lot of fights with him are kind of to me devolve into guys not knowing how to approach him, which is unfortunate to me because Stephen Thompson, again, I have to say this for the 20th time, he's a very good fighter, man. He deserves to be fighting guys who are good and who can bring the best out of him, and who can also the guys can show their craft and their skill instead of just kind of being like, things not working, let me walk him down. I need to just tank the shots, give one and take one. There's no give one and take one of Stephen Thompson. He's gonna give you three, you take nothing. You know what I mean?
Every 10 you'll land like a couple. You know, it's not.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's no give one to take one with Stephen Thompson. People like I remember DC said this on the commentary and it annoyed me really freaking bad. He said his coach texted him and that his coach told DC like as he was like during the commentary, he said that Neil's gonna have to punch with Stephen Thompson. Yeah, yes. And I'm like, oh my goodness, man! Like, no, that's not how you beat Stephen Thompson. He's not there to be punched with. Like
he's not ever running in a straight line for you to hit. He's coming in. He's like he's not entering from a position that's likely to get him countered. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you know what I mean. Like good counter guys can counter him. Like Woodley in his prime, or Jake Ellenberger, or Tiller, or anything like that. But it took
Woodley like 4 rounds of not being
exactly,
able to do
exactly, yeah. You know what I mean. And then too, also, man, you can put yourself in position to make yourself have better chance of doing things like that, man. Like just sitting down, feeling the shot, and then try to counter back, or just seeing him move and then trying to catch him on the intercepting. That's so difficult to do if you don't know how to do that. First of all,
at the very high level, yeah.
Yes, like that's so difficult to do. That's not a game plan that's gonna work against anybody.
Like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like that's really low, like low percentage chance of low chance of working.
Yeah.
Like, so even though we got a while on Jeff Neal and Stephen Thompson, like the fight was very fun to watch. Like watching Stephen Thompson do his thing is always pretty fun. After a while, it started getting kind of repetitive, I must say.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to finish because I wanted to stop. I knew I was going to end. Look, the knee thing added some intrigue. I was like, okay, but whatever. I mean, look, I love his YouTube channel. He's a nice guy. If you watch him on there, he's just like so wholesome when he puts a bunch of videos out.
I've seen a few videos. Yeah. I've seen one like shin conditioning. I think I've seen one of those. I just wanted to watch it.
Yeah, it was cute. And yeah, I think that wraps it up, man.
That's about that for this week. We'll see you guys like in well, for the next card in like a month, but we'll be here next week. Don't worry.
We'll be here next week, guys. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
But the next The next card is Holloway and Cater. That fight, man. Oh, that's some good stuff right there. That's that.
Oh shit, that's exciting. Ooh.
And,
Ooh,
and then
Blast Express,
afterwards,
baby.
afterwards is Connor and Dustin too. So that's pretty nice.
As much as I don't like Connor, I'm excited for
yeah,
that
I
fight.
do. Man, okay, we'll get to this when it happens, man. But man, I don't want to see Connor be the champ again. I feel like it's gonna happen.
Same,
Yeah,
like, a bad feeling.
Yeah, man, like that, we already seen that. You know what I mean? Like,
and I don't like how it looked. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's just gonna go on a 2-year hiatus again. Like, he's not gonna defend that thing.
If Connor gets come, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, we already seen that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But no, yeah. So when the fight starts to pick back up, we're gonna have some good content. We're gonna have good content regardless. Don't worry. Like I said, we'll do our actual Q&A that we've been putting off for like 17 years.
We'll do it.
We'll do that for sure.
I guess.
Yes, that's about that. Good. Have a good holidays and whatnot, or whatever you do, or if you just chill, have a good of that as well.
Happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy life, whatever it is you're doing right now.
Happy just day.
Happy day. I told him I give him a shout out, so Landon, appreciate you, buddy, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Yes, sir.